Hey guys, really glad to share this tutorial with you today. This is going to be a bronze smoky look, and I'm using the NYX Bronze Smoky Look palette to pull this off. This is a really neat little palette. As you can see, it's so small. It's awesome for travel. You're getting a nice mirror and also 9 shades in here, plus a couple of lip colors as well. So in this video I'm going to show you how to use these shades to get that smoky look, utilizing some of those shades to get a smoky liner look while the shadow is not overly harsh at all. So if you're looking for maybe smoky eyes that work for daytime, this would totally be right up your alley. So if you want to see how I do it, keep watching. First step, I'm taking a flat eyeshadow brush. These come standard in a lot of kits. Mine is from the Sigma kit. It's the SS239. And I'm going to be going right down here to this classic gold shade in this palette. So pick some of that color up and kind of pat that on primarily the inner part of the eyelid. Then I'm going to go with this shade that sits right next to that gold in this palette. It's right here, and it has a nice gold shimmer, but it's more of a brown. So I'm going to get some of that on my brush as well and pat that. And I'm using this patting motion so the shadow really stays concentrated right where I want it to go, rather than doing a lot of back and forth motions at this point that would cause it to kind of float all over my face. Then I'm going to use my SS217. Think of just a fuller brush that works for you. This one is a little bit pinched right here at the top, so it can be a little more flat, just barely. And I'm going to go into that same brown shade that I used on the outer part of my lid and just buff that up right into the crease. And when we're going into the crease, go in, but also we want some of this to be a little bit visible up on top of our brow bone, just a little bit. So think of just blending it up a little bit higher. Just like that. Next we're going to do a couple little highlighting steps with this gorgeous kind of golden light gold right here in the center of the palette. So take any fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm using my SS224 and going up under the brow, and just, I mean, you'll find that this brightens, but not in a really obvious, you know, like white highlight way, but in just a really natural way. And I'm taking it all the way in here as well. And then if you have a really small brush or a Q-tip, get a little bit more of that color, tap off the excess, and go right in here around that tear duct with the lightest shade, and it's going to cause this area to really pop with golden bronze tones. Last thing I want to do is work in a really nice dark shade just to give this a smoky effect, but yet something that's still very wearable for daytime, and it's this shade right down here in the corner. It's not the richest, darkest black I've ever seen. It's kind of like a deep charcoal color, and so pick some of that up on your flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to pat that right at the outer corner here just to deepen it up a little bit. You might have to go back, and I mean, I try to build up the color a little bit because I'm not quite sure, you know, don't want to get too much darkness there right at the start, so I go back a couple times and build the color. And remember that large brush we used for the highlight. You can take a brush like that just kind of all over this look when it's relatively bare, the brushes, and you can kind of keep it all blended and buffed out. Next I'm going to get out a pencil brush, and this is my SS219, so it's a very stiff brush, and I'm going to be using this dark shade once again right under my lower lash line. And so this is where smoky looks come from. You know, it's not by using precise liner brushes, but brushes like this that can really give it a buffed out appearance. So I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way in on that until we start hitting our light little highlight that we put in there. And then I'm going to go to the brown shade right next door, and we're going to do that. And this is going to be, you know, you don't want to go too much, but just under this shade slash blending over it, you know what I mean? Creating more of a smoky effect there. Next up we're going to do liner. I'm going to line my waterline with my Mally Evercolor Automatic Eyeliner, and this is in Onyx. It's a really nice black. Then I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Cream Eyeliner in black, and I'm going to use a pointed tip brush to apply this. This is really super long wearing, and I'm just going to apply this all across my upper lash line. So I'm not really winging out this liner at all. I'm just kind of pulling it to the outer corner. Next, you can use your pencil brush in that darkest charcoal shade in the palette to kind of go over your line there. It'll just soften it up a little bit, not too much. I mean, you're still going to have liner there, obviously, but it's just going to soften it. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to apply my Almay One Coat Nourishing Mascara Triple Effect. A couple coats of that on the upper lashes and a couple coats of Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes because this is such a small brush and I've never had smudging issues with it. So I'll put that on and then I'll join you with the finished look. Alright guys, here's your finished look. I hope you like it. It's really not that intimidating, kind of scary smoky eye if you're not used to doing smoky looks a whole lot, because we're using bronzy colored shadows which can really blend nicely with those deeper charcoal tones. So I really like the configuration of color you get here because you're able to take deeper shades like this and work in lighter tones of bronze as well. So definitely a fan of this look, but there are a few key products that'll help you pull it off and pull your whole face together with this. And I love the Hard Candy So Baked Bronzer in Heat Wave. This has a little bit of shimmer, but it can be really nice for a wash of bronzy color all over your face, your décolleté area, anywhere on your body you want bronzer. Grab a big kabuki brush and just go crazy because this gives a really pretty natural look. And then I'm using a blush that is actually matte. It does not have sparkle in it, and it's Milani Minerals in Mai Tai, one of my all-time favorite peachy pinks, just for that little bit of glow going on there. And then a great luminizer highlight shade is from LORAC. It's the Perfectly Lit Powder in Spotlight. And this is great for being a highlight. You can kind of see the sheen right there that doesn't give you too much, but just enough. So you don't have to be scared of looking too scary and sparkly when you go out in the daylight. Now for lips, as you saw in sort of this bottom trap drawer here, you have a couple of shades. I used this bronzy shade just real lightly with my finger. I dabbed it all over. Then I decided I wanted a little more gloss on top, so I used the Beauty Rush lip gloss from Victoria's Secret. It's simply called Bananas, and it smells great, and it just gives a nice golden gloss over the top. So not a hard look to achieve. It's just, you know, getting used to doing liner techniques that really take away the harsh edge but really give you that smoky look instead. So thanks a lot for watching. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you again soon. Bye.